There'll be a war here today.
Yeah, don't forget now, ladies and gentlemen, the first hook of the class gets to keep it or turn it down. We got Lee Zander on deck out of Houston, Texas, ladies and gentlemen. He caught that Dodge pick-em-up truck cone. Pretty strong last night hook.
All right, here we go, fans. This was the big winner Saturday night, Bowling Green, Ohio. 25 of these big trucks, and this young man came away with the victory. He's going to set the mark here this afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, 350.44. 34.7 mile an hour, ladies and gentlemen, from a dead standstill. Let's see if he's going to keep it or not. He's going to turn it down. So he's going to turn around and come back to the end of the class. He'll be our last puller in the class.
Now, fans, remember that distance, 350.44. We have seen time and time again for that number one spot. Sometimes you guess wrong out there. But Zander, one of the newest competitors here at the Superstock class, lays down a nice run. We've seen that big fireball there at the end of his run. Of course, Zander running this truck here for the first time here in 2025. And now last year here in Diesel's Dark Horse was our winner on Saturday night in the 3.0 truck class with the farm truck. And has since stepped up here. Dad ran this truck early on the season. Zander took it over, says, hey, I'm going to drive Kong. So Dad went out and bought another one. Of course, we want to welcome those folks watching the live look-in on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us here this afternoon. We're going to give you a little bit of taste of Superstock truck pulling here in White Plains, Georgia.
Zander, why did you turn that down?
Well, I felt my pass was pretty good, but I feel like there's more out there to find. And I feel like I have a better shot at going at the end.
Maybe watch a few trucks, get a little idea of what's really going to happen with that track.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. Good luck.
All right, well, there you heard it from Zander Lee. He says he thinks that track is going to get better the longer we run on it here with these Superstock trucks. So, well, actually making a change on the sled, so don't even matter. So that 350.44, erase it, did not happen. We're going to start this class over. All right, fans, so word from trackside here on our sled reset. Going to lighten things up just a little bit. Going to get them down a little bit further down the track. So look for some big speed here this afternoon. Going to slow that box down just a little bit here. Restart the class over. Well, we're right back at it. We're ready to go.
If I'm not mistaken, Dan, I think those solid blocks, the weights are about 2,000 pounds apiece, I believe. So we'll see how much of a difference that makes.
Yeah, 2,000 pounds apiece on those iron ingots, as you call them. Put them in the box. Of course, the sled, as it goes down the highway, weighs right around 34,000 pounds empty. And, of course, they'll add those 2,000-pound blocks to it. So if you're up high enough, you can actually count how many they do have in the weight box out there. And usually for this class, we're looking at about 50,000 pounds it takes to stop these super stock diesel trucks.
All right, we are pulling the superstars, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Rock Hard Ram out of Fairmount, Indiana. I'm guessing this is old Trip Hazley. 460 cubic inches, ladies and gentlemen, and she gonna run all she can do. He got the green light to change tight. Flagman said they're ready to go. Trip Hazley, ladies and gentlemen. Mercy, ladies and gentlemen, 370.12, 370.12, 35.4 miles an hour.
Now, fans, Tripp started in the middle of the track. He spotted the sled in the middle of the track and worked his way to the right side, drove it off to the right side. And an excellent run here as our new test puller. Of course, we'll have that option to take or turn down that run. We'll find out what his decision was from trackside. And they're giving us the thumbs down. So he turned down that run of 370.12. So I'm guessing he's thinking that track going to get better here as we work it along this afternoon. Well, fans, let's give third generation Trip Hazley a nice round of applause. Northeast of the Indianapolis area, Fairmont, Indiana. Of course, the super stock diesel truck class brought to you by Bad Gear. Bad Gear is the largest diesel and off-road enthusiast apparel company based in Lexington, Kentucky. They have a large selection of designs that appeal to fans of all diesel truck brands, tractors, as well as fans of truck and tractor pulling. Make sure to grab something at their vendor booth over across the track or online at badgear.com. Well, fans, we have got a stacked field of super stock diesel trucks this afternoon. 20 of the top trucks in the nation here going to battle it out as we've got Jonathan Waskob up next out of Warriorsmark, Pennsylvania, the Roland Co. He'll be followed by last night's winner, Craig Dickey, with the Cummins Killer 3. And then we should have the Deadpool of Terry Biggs to follow.
Hey, I just spoke with Trip Hazley on the Rock Hard Ram, and he said that truck was just completely unsettled. And he said, you know what, we're going to start all over with setup. Yeah, the truck is completely unsettled. In other words, if you saw that truck hopping and bouncing kind of the first probably 250 feet, and then finally when the weight really got on them, it was able to settle down a little bit. So I think he's going to make a few changes when he comes back later on in the class. All
right, thanks, Bert. As Bert with the update there on Trip Hazley's run. not happy with the setup there on the chassis, so they're going to go back and work on it a little bit. As Jonathan Waskob coming up here out of Warriorsmark, Pennsylvania, the Roland Cole entry. Now, this was the big winner a couple weekends ago up at the Weeklands Oktoberfest up there in Pennsylvania. This truck took the big win on Friday night.
Y'all watch them, ladies and gentlemen. It takes a good bit of ether to keep these things running. All right, we got Jonathan Waskob right here out of Warriorsmark, Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen. He called that Dodge kind of pick him up truck Rolling Coal. He put it out. What's that? He's putting it out. Yeah. Another can of ether. You got her. More ether. Do like some of them old tractors, just mount one under the hood, just spray it straight in the turbocharger. It'll be all right. All right, Jonathan, keep that thing running down there, buddy. Roll. We are pulling the super stock diesel class, ladies and gentlemen, here at Diesels and Dark Corners. 15. Woo! Mercy! 392.04. That's a weekend furthest right there. 39.1 mile an hour, 392, ladies and gentlemen, 0.04. Jonathan Waskob, he's tickled with that one, I guarantee you, Dan, for sure.
All right, fans, so first official distance in the class, and it's a big one. 392.04, fans. Another nice round of applause. Jonathan Waskob, the Rolling Coal. All right, fans, rolling out on the track. Last night's winner, Craig Dickey. Coming to us out of River Falls, Wisconsin, up in the northern part of the Badger State. 2024 NTPA Grand National Champion. This truck here, Duramax horsepower underneath the hood. He's got 3 big turbochargers on this one. And before they came to Diesels and Dark Corners, they put a brand new carbon fiber body on this truck, saved about 400 pounds, put that 400 pounds up front. That is the name of the game. Of course, going to have his other truck out a little bit later on in the class as well. But this is number 3 up first. Once again, got to work that left side.
The Cummins Killer 3, ladies and gentlemen, old Craig Dickey out of River Falls, Wisconsin. 8 of them monkeys turning the crankshaft under the hood of that old Jiminy C kind of pick-em-up truck, ladies and gentlemen. The winner last night, let's see if he still got it. Mercy, 393.36. 393.36, 38.7 mile an hour, ladies and gentlemen. That's good enough for first place. We have a new leader. By about 1.25 foot, look like. Ooh, somebody done hit that thing with a Ford hammer. Good gracious.
All right, fans, he heads off the track. Let's give our new leader a nice round of applause. What do you think, fans? We going to see 400 feet this afternoon? Is it possible? Yeah, I think so, too. I think that track is going to get better and better as they work it in.
All right, we got one of them big bad blue ovals on deck, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Beats 393.36. That big bad Cummins Killer. Got Ted Biggs out of Noblesville, Indiana. He called that pick-em-up truck Deadpool.
All right, fans, strongest truck right here on the Pro Pulling League circuit for 2025. This was the national champion. He piled in a whole bunch of victories with this truck. Now, for those folks watching on the free look-in on Facebook and YouTube, we're going to end that after this run. You can head on over to fullpull.live and subscribe, $39.99. Get all the rest of this action. And, boy, it's heating up here this afternoon. Right now with these super stock diesel trucks, they're putting on a war right here in Diesels and Dart Corners.
All right, Terry. Show 'em how Stun Buddy roll. Mercy! 377.22. 36.8 mile an hour, ladies and gentlemen, Terry Biggs.
Craig, phenomenal run right now. You're in a lead by a foot. After they changed that weight transfer machine, was there anything you changed on the truck?
Nope, we went with the flow today.
Well, do you think that lighter body is giving you that extra weight you can stick on the front to kind of control that front end?
Yeah, I think that definitely helps, getting that extra weight up front. It makes the transfer a little harder, so your front tires actually do a little more digging. We struggled with that this year on the NTBA circuit, but we'll see if it holds up. There's a lot of tough trucks left yet to come.
One truck, you got one truck left to run. Anything you might see after making this one pass that you might change for the other?
Maybe hit her a little harder, a little early. It's a good track today, so.
Watch the replay board. I know it's kind of hard to see out here in the daylight, but check out that run. Just as smooth as butter. Almost 40 mile an hour, 38 mile an hour.
Yeah, it was a great pass. This place is fun. They come out and let us run. They want us.
All right, we need Abe Lingacher.
Good luck to you in the second truck. Thank you, Craig.
All right, we need Abe Lingacher and Jimmy Deverman. Y'all get down to the scales. Abe and Jimmy, y'all get down to the scales.
Sir? Sharpie. Ford. The only one with the...
All right, probably the only pick-em-up truck, ladies and gentlemen, we pulling in the Superstock class that's got the original factory engine that come from the factory in it. That's a 6.0, I believe. Out of Cooperstown, Pennsylvania, Jesse Warren. Call that thing shark bait. .66. 36.5 mile an hour, ladies and gentlemen. Jesse Warren, good job, buddy, Road. Too many sixes for me.
All right, got a little bit of a fire underneath the hood there, the shark bait fans. Let's give Jesse Warren a nice round of applause. Coming down from Pennsylvania.
Jonathan, great run. You were the first official hook in the class on Rolling Coal. You watched them change that stuff in the sled. Anything you changed before you took the line?
No, there wasn't quite enough time for any of that, but I knew we were going to go out there forward, pulling a weight out of the sled, and yeah, that was a fun ride. Never went that far, never went that fast, so it was cool.
What is it about diesels in dark corners that brings you guys down?
Well, I've only ever been here one other time, 5 or 6 years ago. It was a good track, a good time then. I'm in the middle of harvest, so getting down here is kind of tough, but I got a new build, and I wanted to get a couple more runs on it before going back to work.
Well, looking at that replay, it's kind of hard to see with the sun in it right now. But 392.04, you're sitting second place. That'd be a good place to end up here this weekend.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of heavy hitters behind. Well, the whole class. This is it's anyone's game. But I'd love to stay up here. That'd be fun.
All right. Well, good luck to you. Thank you for hanging out with us.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, fans, take a look here at the replay. The shark bait as he made its way down the track, and a little bit of a flare up there at the end of his run. Of course, we'd like to thank OC Grading and Clearing. They offer lane clearing, road and pond construction, and new site development. Their motto is local, honest, and reliable.